All right, guys. Just want to go through a few things, and this is going to be talking about health here in the Pacific, in the islands, in Tonga, in Eua, specifically in Eua. Um, and what are the diseases or the issues that affect people over here? And one of them is diabetics, and of course, everyone knows reasons why a diabetic is a diabetic is poor nutrition and poor diet, and it's because of breads, sugars, bakery food, the wrong kind of foods, not having a balanced diet, and junk food. And they're overweight here as well. So they're overweight and diabetics. There's a lot of them that are in that category. Some are diabetic that are not overweight. And it's just because food here is seasonal, that is homegrown or that they grow on the land. Um, and what's abundant is always there is food in the shops. So everything that is a packaged food is available. So if there's no, let's say, a local fruit available, no local veggies available, no local meat available, what do they do? They go to the shops. And what's their basic stable food? It's flour. It's flour. They eat a lot of flour here. So these are their foods that they have flour in. They have dorbai. They have bread. They have hewel. They have all these other things that they make, pineapple pie and all this kind of stuff. They have Tongan cakes, so it's yeasted cakes that are fried in vegetable oil. So these are the staple diet they have here, and crackers and noodles. Crackers, pretty much a staple diet, and also noodles, a staple diet for kids here. Kids here love their noodles, and it's cheap, and they just have that for lunch. And it's not noodles, hot noodles where you pour hot water in. They just grab a packet of 2 minute noodles, crush it up, put the seasoning in there, and just eat it like that, like chips. That's what they do. So they eat that like pretty much every day, especially school kids. And it's not healthy. Local food, due to it being seasonal, so they only eat healthy when it's available, right? So let's say for pineapples is November, December, January, then that's it. Pawpaw, warmer time is pawpaw is more abundant. And that's only if they grow it, and it's not here in the market. They hardly ever have pawpaws in the market because they should be able to grow it in their for their own selves. But um, they should have bananas or ladyfingers all year round. We have ladyfingers all year round, and it's just a small little banana. But they don't have it. They don't grow it as an all year round thing. It's not a food that they like. I love it because when it's ripe, it tastes really nice. It's really sweet. Anyway, so people also get a lot of stomach issues here as well. A lot of stomach issues, and they use Tongan medicine to be able to try and fix these issues. If they don't use Tongan medicine, they go to the go to the doctors. So the doctors subscribe them with one thing or two things pretty much for a stomach issue: antibiotics and Panadol. Right? No one really goes and gets their stool tested to be able to figure out what's actually going on in the gut. Um, so they can actually give the right antibiotic for that specific bad bacteria. But the reason why they got bad bacteria is because they're eating the wrong foods. It's called microbiome in the stomach. And if you're killing that, because the foods that you're eating is killing that, um, they're going to have stomach issues. And this is where it comes into my little testimony about what's happened in the last month for me. And I'm a lot better now, but I was going through a bad stage where I was very worried. And due to how I felt, I know my own body on where I am and my energy levels and all that kind of stuff. I know it in and out, and I know when something's wrong. and I know it before the doctors know it. Most of the time, when there's something wrong, I try to tell them, but some of these doctors just don't listen, and they don't get what I'm trying to say to them because they come up with their own diagnosis and just give me antibiotic or just give me this or that, and just Panadol and send me on my way. But I'll just go through the symptoms that I had, and I was very fatigued. I was sweating all the time. I was falling asleep just sitting down. Like I was trying to keep awake, but I was just falling asleep, and I was sleeping in the chair for a couple of hours or maybe an hour or so. I was out of breath if I had to do something, so I had to sit back down and try to get my breath back, have a rest, and then get back into it. And I only do a small amount of work and then sit back down again. I know I was dehydrated, so I was drinking a lot of water. And I was luckily that I had, I don't know if the family sent it in a box or already had it here before, I'm not too sure. But yeah, that helped out a lot with electrolytes. And I had that as like a Powerade kind of electrolyte drink that I was able to get my fluids or sustain the minerals and that in my body with the fluids. I was nausea, so I wasn't eating, and sometimes I just fast the whole day and maybe have a little bit of food. And I'm not like that. With my appetite, I'm hungry all the time. Like I can eat, and I have to force myself not to eat to be able to maintain what I have and not get any bigger. And sometimes I overeat, and there's certain years I'll overeat and I'll blow up. And I have blown up in the past, like blown up, blown up. So I had no appetite at all, and that's not a good sign for me. And I know exactly what's going on with my body. When I'm sick, I know I am sick. I was telling my wife there's something wrong. There's something wrong. I'm not feeling right, and she says go to the doctor. Yeah, okay. I was humming and harring and debating. Go to the doctor's here. As everyone knows, the hospitals here are not 100% great. There's so much testing that they can do. So when I went to the doctors, there's two issues that I told them. I have two issues with, because they said, oh, have you got any occurring issues? And I told them about my gut issues, how I feel and everything. So yeah, they subscribed me antibiotics for that. But then also I told them about my testosterone, and there's a doctor that sort of like looked into it a bit for me because they don't have any kind of issues with testosterone issues over here. And it's not that they don't have it, it's because they don't test for it. As I asked her, I says, is it because you don't test for it? Is that why you don't have it? And don't have those problems? She goes, yeah, we don't test for it because they don't think it's an issue over here. And they just probably subscribe them with other things to get these guys back on track, but they don't get back on track. And that's why you get certain guys that'll probably be very lazy. Yes, there are guys that are just lazy and drink kava every night and don't do anything. But there are guys that probably want to do something and they just don't have the energy levels for it. And they're in my sort of like age, 40 and upwards. I'm sort of like hitting 50 soon, so yeah, my birthday was yesterday, so I'm hitting 50 soon, a couple of years, not far off. But anyway, I'm trying to keep my nutrition and diet and everything where it needs to be the maximum health that I need to be able to do my work here, to stay alive as long as possible for my wife, for my family, to be able to achieve what I need to achieve in this lifetime. Before before we go to heaven or wherever you guys think you'll be going. So I want to be the husband I need to be, because I don't want to go before my wife. I want to make sure I can make sure that she has everything before I go. Even if I do go before my wife, I want to make sure that she's sorted. She doesn't really have to do anything when I go. And that's my main concern, getting sick and passing away early. Because right now, she does not have everything. She'll have to work. And I don't want her to do that. I want her to, just relax and enjoy the rest of her life when I go. And that's my main concern. And also to be able to be fruitful enough to be able to supply for my kids as well, grandkids and all that kind of stuff. I know my kids and grandkids got their own life and they're doing their own thing, but at least go visit them and I have enough income to be able to visit them and come back again. But anyway, going off track. As you know, I'm a big eater. I'm probably around about 125 kilos. I was probably 135. I probably lost 10 kilos. I haven't weighed myself recently. I know I've lost weight because of this month being so bad. And so what I had to do is fix my own self. And I did this after going to the doctors. And hang on a sec, guys. Yeah, so also I want to talk about guys. Being a man, right? We don't say anything. We don't complain. We don't whinge. Well, some of us don't anyway. I can whinge a bit here and there, but when I whinge, there's usually something that's not right. And if I'm getting very upset, there's something not right. There's sometimes it's just because I'm hungry, and that's why I'm upset. But you know, it could be because my hormone level's not right, my nutrition's not right, my sleep's not right. There's a certain factor, and it's on me. Most of it's on me because I did not make sure that I had enough sleep, had the right food, and all that kind of stuff to be happy the next day. But men in total, you know, a working man that supports their family, that works hard, usually they won't say anything until it's too late. And this is where I learnt from one of my friends that had passed away recently, and he had gut issues. And with him having gut issues, I saw him deteriorate. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on with him. And he's coming up with all these ideas and trying to do all these things, going to the doctors, and they're trying to figure it out. They could not figure it out. None of them could figure out what was. But now I understand because I've been through this process of what actually happened. And it's nutrition, diet, and also the medicines that he was being given. He wasn't a diabetic. All of a sudden he was a diabetic, but that was late in his where he was going downhill, and that was due to the wrong diet at when he was sick. He was doing the wrong things, having all these Tonga medicines at the wrong time. Probably it was too late, but he was doing so many different things that you couldn't pinpoint what was wrong or what was making him better or what was making him worse. So this is what I had to do: eliminate everything in my diet. And so what I was actually doing, and actually guys, don't leave it too late, because if you do, it could be too late and then it goes downhill from then on. Got to listen to your body, speak up, talk, investigate, talk to the doctors. The doctors could be wrong, you could be right, or you both could be wrong, but always research and look into it. This is what I had to do. So when I went to the doctors, they listened but didn't listen, right? Because they come up with their own conclusion. They think, oh yeah, this is what it is, this is what I'm going to give you. And so for my stomach issues, the first time I went to the doctor, this lady listened about my gut and whatever, and sort of like gave me some antibiotics just in case that issue. But because I had underlying issues beforehand, what was my with my past issues is being low testosterone in my system, and she went off that thinking I'm fatigued because of that. But I was telling her I've been having my shots. I've got a couple of shots here left that'll last me the next 2 months. But after that, I have nothing, and I'm just going to go downhill after that. So, because I did stop for about a year or 8 months or whatever, but because I had those gut issues, and then I felt really bad, I thought, oh, this is what it is, low testosterone. And unfortunately, I probably wasn't low testosterone, but my testosterone is probably still low, but because I will drop so low that I felt really bad. I thought that at the beginning of where I was at the beginning of this month, I was feeling my gut issues. I thought it was testosterone until my gut started playing up, and then I was like, "Hang on a sec, whoa!" I stopped everything, so I stopped testosterone injections, stopped all food after I went to the doctor after 2 weeks actually, because the antibiotics didn't do me well. Nothing changed; it got worse. Um, But luckily, Lisa investigated on the other side of my issue with testosterone issues. So she rang all the clinics over in Tonga, the hospital, see if anyone imported any testosterone. Nothing. So this does not exist here in Tonga. But thankfully for her, that I'm able to know that I don't have to go and do my own investigation in Tonga and run around and ring around. She did it for me, and thank God for that. But still, there's that issue trying to get it. Right. Now let's go back to my gut issue. So with my gut issue, antibiotics, did not do anything for a week. Went back again, tried to explain to them this is a gut issue, not a testosterone issue. Sort of. I went to another doc. She gave me antibiotics for my gut issue. That was a different antibiotic because I told her this is not working. Try a different one. Overseas, I tried to explain to her I've had this issue before overseas. They put me on the drip, antibiotics on the drip, and they had to swap around antibiotics and take my stool and whatnot. But she sent me to another doctor, and she was saying it was probably my fatigue and everything is just because of testosterone. Well, I knew it wasn't. So they sort of didn't want to listen. They had their own assumptions at that point in time. So I was like, I want to give up going back there. But so I talked to a nurse that I know through church, a Sinamoni, and she told me, go back, take your stool, don't give up, go back, take your stool, ask them to take a stool test, see what kind of bad bacteria is in there, to be able to do that and talk to them even more so they can do more on it. And by that time, I was already mending myself to a certain state. I could feel myself getting a little bit better due to the small changes that I had done. So what I did is I stopped taking all the meds. I didn't finish the second one. I started, probably took the two days worth of antibiotics, of the next antibiotics, and I'm like, you know what, nothing's changing. I'm not gonna, because it can make it worse. Antibiotics can still kill bacteria. That's what it does. Antibiotic kills bacteria in your stomach, right? In anywhere in your body. It kills certain things that are not supposed to be there. But it can kill good bacteria as well. So I was having a debate with myself, should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? You know what? Clean slate, let's start again. Clear up my diet. Clear up everything, start from scratch. That's what I did. Took all medications. Didn't take any more medications. So I started again. And by doing this, I had to eliminate everything, and start from what I need. Start from one point. One food specifically is meat that I started from that only to eat. By this time, I wasn't eating. I was probably eating once a day, and it was only a little bit because I wasn't hungry. I didn't feel like eating. I'm not a person that vomits. Even back in the days when I got drunk or anything, I never vomited. I was just not that kind of person that I could bring up anything. And so they say, "Oh, do you vomit?" I said, "No, I'm not a person that vomits." Even though how bad my stomach gets, how bad sick, I get food poisoning or anything. It comes out that end, it doesn't come out this end for some reason. I don't know why. So, and this is the other thing with doctors as well. They see you on the outside, and men, they make this facade where I look alright. And because you go to the doctors, what do? You have a shower. Make sure you're clean before you go there, because you don't know what they're going to touch. Of course you're going to be doing that. And you're spruced up, put cologne on and all that kind of stuff. And by the time you get there, yes, you're fatigued and you're drained and everything. But you put on this facade, you put on this face that you look like a man, right? You don't want to feel like an old man, like I'm walking on crutches and trying to get through there in a wheelchair or something like that. Men don't like to look like that. Men like to look powerful, masculine. Because if they don't, they feel it's a mental thing in their mind. Um, they don't feel like a man, you know. They feel weak, and when a man feels weak, it starts to play up with your brain. It starts mentally play up, psychologically starts playing up with your mind. And I notice that with me myself, I get emotional because I'm not being able to do certain things. I'm not being able to perform at my excel level or my peak because I'm not able to dig 20 holes or whatever with a hoe and I can only dig one and rest. That sort of like it disheartens you because you know you can do more. You know you can do extra and whatever. And I know getting old, this slowly will decline, but I'm not there yet. And every man feels like this certain time in their age where it starts to mentally get to them. But this is once you get to that certain type of fatigue and that, it starts mentally playing with you as well. So there's two issues there. And what the doctors see is they see a healthy man. They don't see anything else. They look at you, you're fit, strong, look healthy. You should be right to give you a couple of antibiotics. Away you go. But when a man really goes to the doctors, usually it's because there is something definitely wrong. They won't go for small things. There's usually something big. All right, went off a little bit on that. So what did I do to change my diet? I started off with meat only, and this is what I did. I started eating boiled chicken. That's all I did. I didn't eat the fat meat or whatever. I just put mainland chickens, a leg and a thigh together, boiled it in a pot, salt. That's it. What I did, I just ate the meat out of it and just left. I only ate one leg. That was me for the day. So there was a couple of days there I didn't really eat much at all. But when I started eliminating it, this is what I said. I said to myself, "This is what I'm gonna do. Just eat meat. There's chicken for the first day. Did that the second day. The second day I had 2 eggs in the morning, then chicken. So I had only protein. The third day I could start feeling something was happening. By the third day I'm already starting to feel like a little bit better. Not 100%, not even 80%, but I could start feeling that there's a little bit of a change there. The other thing that helped me was electrolytes, and I was able to have electrolytes that was helping me out as well. So after the third day, I was able to. There was some pawpaw at the back. I was just picking off the tree. We've got quite a few pawpaws at the back. So I read up saying pawpaw and pineapple are really good for you, and also bananas for your gut, and it was easy to digest and easy on the gut. So what I did started including that in my diet. See how it felt. So there was pawpaw, ladyfingers that I have here. I just had pineapple yesterday because someone gave us some pineapple yesterday, but it was just 2 eggs, chicken, and a couple of ladyfingers, and pawpaw. So that usually breakfast was pawpaw and ladyfingers with a couple of eggs. If not, just a fruit only, and then later on a couple of eggs, then later on a little bit of chicken. And that started to change myself with my gut. Wasn't hurting anymore. It still hurt, but it wasn't as bloated. Wasn't hurting as much. So that started to improve my health. And then ever since there, I just kept on that, and I started to take in a little bit of extra here and there. I had bread for the first time, a little bit coming into maybe 5 days later, just as breakfast with my eggs, 2 slices, and I could feel my stomach play up a little bit. You know what's wrong, what's good, and what's not. So I know bread wasn't good for me, but sometimes you crave for it, so you just go ahead. But when I knew I was getting better, I was like, it wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, so I've stayed off ever since then. I've stayed off the bread. Um, the other thing I so just recoup all of that. That's what actually made me better is having meat only. If I stayed on meat only, that would probably heal up even a lot longer because I had a little bit of bread. I actually had a little bit of ice cream as well. Probably once I was feeling a lot better, I had started getting my appetite back, and I was like hungry. Now I'm a little bit more hungry all the time. But now I'm actually, yeah, I am hungry all the time. Like I had some lady fingers this morning, had 3 eggs, and I'm still hungry. And I had a coffee. See, this is the first coffee I've had since when I started to get ill and I started eliminating it. Eliminated coffee as well because I found out that coffee is bad for my stomach as well. So I eliminated. This is my first coffee today, and well, as soon as I had that, I can feel now that it's not doing right for my stomach. So that's the only coffee I'm gonna have. Probably not for the rest of the week. I won't have any more coffee. I'll just have cocoa. Cocoa was okay with no milk. So no milk as well, no dairy. But the good thing about me struggling is I have a good wife, right? She helped me out a lot with the work around the property. Like the whole front is hers. She's cleaned it all up, hoed all the pineapples, done all that work on the land over there, helped me feed all the animals. The only thing that she couldn't do is cut the coconuts for the pigs, so I did that. But she helped me feed the chickens, feed the dogs and the puppies and whatnot. So she helped out with that. Like on certain days, I just could not do it. I had to sleep in, and she got up and she just did it. So very thankful for having a very supportive wife with me trying to get better. So that helped out really well. Once you have a good wife beside you helping you out, you're all good. And that's all I wanted. Like sometimes that's the emotional part of your brain. Once a man is down, all they need is that wife supporting them, being there for them, and once they have that your right hand next to you, supporting you, you feel like $1,000,000, and you're able to get better a lot faster because you got that support. If you have a grumpy wife that doesn't care about you and just does whatever she wants and leaves you there, you're not going to get better anytime faster because you're mentally it's not good for your brain, and it's sort of like as a man you start declining as well because of that. So what was the root cause of me having a stomach issue? There's probably a few things, and you'll probably be surprised with this conclusion. Yes, poor diet. Yes, poor nutrition. 100% those two. But there's one more other thing, and it's called Roundup, glyphosate. Did a lot of research about this, and I spray my boundaries with glyphosate. And there was one time, a couple of months ago, where I was spraying the safa, and this grass is taller than me, right? So just imagine me spraying with a backpack. This backpack was leaking as well, so I was going down my back. And this is before we had Mum's one that she sent me, a brand new one. And also Finel gave me a different one, so I'm using that one as well. And so this certain backpack that I had to use was leaking. Didn't think much of it. As I saw certain comments with glyphosate was it's not harmful for human beings. You'll be right. So with the long grass, I had to spray up, right? And then the wind changes. The wind changes all of a sudden, and it just blows straight in my face. Got no mask, and I could taste it. When I'm breathing it in, I could taste it, feel it in my throat. And then the next day, I'm not well. I feel my back sore. I thought I was just because I have a back sore, but I noticed every time I sprayed, I'm not well the next day, and I'm my back sore, and I'm just not feeling well. And so I need to get smarter with spraying, and I sprayed while I was sick even, but I was smarter. My wife had this kind of thing that you can cover around my face, and it goes around through my neck and everything, so I don't breathe in, and I be smarter with my spraying to make it sure it's close to the ground. I don't have many weeds that are high anymore. And also, I make sure there is no wind on that day so I can spray so it doesn't mist back up me into my mouth or onto my skin or anything like that. Make sure I wear long overalls, have a shower straight away after that, and wash myself right down. So what this glyphosate does is kill bacteria. And the microbiomes in my stomach, it'll kill that. So this is what was happening. And as soon as I found out that, got smarter with my spraying, got smarter with my food, because what glyphosate does, or what everyone in America or overseas does, they spray glyphosate or Roundup on their wheat crops, not before they plant, not when it's hasn't been fruited or the wheat hasn't come out. It's when the wheat is nearly ready to harvest, and so the glyphosate goes on that wheat, and then they harvest it. So what they're doing is harvesting glyphosate wheat, and then they mill it into the flour. So this is crazy. I don't understand. I mean, I understand they do it because they won't ruin their crops if it rains, and they want to get it at the right time and make more profit and all this kind of stuff. But it's killing the people with all these different diseases that has just started since the 1980s, pretty much, coming towards now, and is getting worse. People with gut issues, people with the colons getting ripped out, and they've got these bags on the outside of their stomach, and they're pooping in this bag. It's because of their diet, and this glyphosate is getting into the wheat, the flour, the soybean, the oils, the vegetable oils, everything. You read a packet in the shop, and how many ingredients it's got in there. Benzoate, it's got all the vegetable oils, the corn oils or cornstarch. It's like on the corn as well. Is they spray, so there's GMO foods, right? Genetically modified corn out there that they can spray this field that the corn is already grown, spray it with glyphosate, and it only kills the weed and doesn't kill the corn. And they've done this with corn, they've done this with soybean, they've done with peas, done this with all of this different kind of products. So what we're eating now, and you know how you got pea protein, and you give these kids these peas, and it's flavored and whatnot. They think they're eating something healthy, and we don't understand. We're poisoning our kids, we're poisoning our families with certain foods, and we don't even know it. So, and what researchers, you see more Alzheimer's, more different kind of diseases these days, cancers and whatnot, coming to the elderly more now than ever before. And it's because of this glyphosate. It's because of the wrong nutrition that we're eating. And unfortunately, the islanders have no idea about this kind of stuff. No idea. And Europe, if Americans go to Europe, like into France or wherever, where it was banned, glyphosate is banned, they can eat bakery foods and whatnot and not get upset stomachs and be healthy and won't put on weight. They come back to America and man, they just put on the weight, get bad stomachs and whatnot. It's because this wheat that they grow in America is full of glyphosate, and it's got its own issues. So yes, the world needs to change with what they need to do. Yes, they make big profits, but it's killing the people, making the people sick. We can go into politics and whatnot. There's JFK Jr. Working on this over there as well. There's the Trump administration. Finally, he's in as president, so I'm happy about that, and hopefully some changes will happen over there as well. There's a lot of things that need to be changed, but with the food industry, hopefully there's some changes over there, because once the changes change in America, it streamlines through into the Pacific, and it will change us as well, because what the Pacific look to is the outer nations. They think that Australia and America, New Zealand, everyone, they know what they're talking about. They what they're selling is good, and the islanders follow through. Where really, what we did 100 years ago in here in the islands was the best ever. It's just that because they now times have changed, and with that change, uh, we need to live life a little bit more, what do you call, comfortable. And the reasons why we get comfortable is because there's so many different foods in the shop, and we're able to get it whenever we want. Back then, we had to work for our food, so we had to exercise for our work, for our food. We want meat, we had to kill it, we had to gut it, we had to pluck it, we had to take the fur off, build a fire, all this kind of stuff. Um, we had to grow our own crops 100 years ago to be able to eat. Yes, we still have to do that today, but the thing is, there's an influence in the shops from China, Indonesia, Micronesia, Melanesia, India, America, Australia. There's products from all over the world coming into Tonga, and we don't know if it's banned overseas or not, and they're sending it here. How do we know it's not banned here? There is no banned thing here. Everything comes in here, it's all good. I mean, just send it to Tonga. Like there's some mayonnaise that was, there's a lot of products over here that you don't find anywhere else. And you're thinking, where's this from? Oh, this is from Malaysia. Oh, this is from Thailand. Oh, this is from China. You know, oh, this is from America. What's in there? We don't know. Whatever's written on the label is bad already. But yeah, so it was a bit of a long rant about health here in Tonga. And the conclusion I've come to is those chemicals in our food, and also, well, that's the main part, chemicals in our food, and also the wrong foods that we're eating here. Go back to basics. Go back to basics as best as we can. That would be good. We got fridges now, refrigeration, all that kind of stuff here in the island, so we should be able to store food a little bit longer to be able to eat the right foods. Overseas, there's abundance of berries all year round, fruit all year round, veggies all year round. You go in the supermarkets, it's there all year round. Over here, we don't have that satisfaction. You only have it seasonal over here. Veggies in winter times, fruits in summer times, most of the tropical fruits in summer times, like mangoes, pineapples, pawpaws, summertime. Veggies, winter times. So seasonal. And what I'm doing, hopefully I can do my sauerkraut, last till next winter. The winter after that, make some more for the next winter. Hopefully we can freeze certain fruits and whatnot, so we've got that during the winter times. This kind of stuff we'll get to, but it's going to take time for us to be able to get there. But now I know what to do with my health. Hopefully this has made you think about your health and where you need to be and what's going on with your body, because at the end of the day, we need to look after ourselves. And it's not really for me, it's yes for me, but it's for my family. It's not selfish needs. It's love. It's what I need to do as being a man to be able to supply my wife and hopefully be able to help my kids and grandkids in the future. And also my family. I don't know what God has got planned for me in the near future. I know I'm thinking about certain things and what I need to do, and hopefully God helps me along my journey. And all I do is pray every day, read the Bible every day, and be able to learn more and more through His Word to be able to get me where I need to be in life. For our next life, right? So that was the main point, and do everything for His glory, not for my glory, for His glory.